Another attorney commercial with big promises? Millions of dollars, practicing law 24 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. Let's get rid of the smoke and mirrors. None of that really matters. What does matter? Having a medical doctor as your attorney. That matters.
Hey there, my friends. As we move through the day Friday, yep, some flurries, some snow showers, but that's not the main snow. It comes with the large-scale lift that moves overhead as the area of low pressure over California and eventually moving through Arizona and New Mexico moves through the area. So we'll see snow pick up across the mountains as we head through the day into tonight, and then we head into early Saturday morning. We get that to spread across the eastern plains of Colorado, last through the day on Saturday. Then Saturday night, we'll start to get that snow out of here from northwest to southeast, and I think into early Sunday morning. I think we'll clear out in a lot of areas as well. Saturday, real cold day, only around 10 degrees or so for parts of the eastern plains. We'll get to the temps here in a second, but first we've got to talk about a little bit of a change I've made early Friday morning. I wanted to give myself some wiggle room. I had 2 to 4 yesterday for a lot of the metro area, but the higher terrain kind of surrounding downtown, I wanted to give myself a little wiggle room on the 5 or 6 inches just because the atmosphere is so primed for making snowflakes, and it'll be airy, fluffy stuff. So these areas that are higher than downtown here, from Falcon, Woodman Hills through Briargate, up toward Pine Valley and Douglas Valley on the Academy, Mountain Shadows, down into the Vista Grande neighborhood, toward Rustic Hills, toward Wasson, out east on Highway 24, and then up Ute Pass. I wanted to put into the 3 to 7. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And I think the same thing kind of on Highway 115 on the west side of Fort Carson. Pueblo, still have us in the 2 to 4. I did put Pueblo West in the 3 to 7. A little bit of a hill out here, a little higher, getting north of Highway 50 by just a bit. And sometimes Pueblo West gets a little bit more than Pueblo. You get into the mountains and valleys, there's going to be a big difference between the valley floors and what happens over the peaks. Monarch, 10 to 18, I think 10 to 18 on top of the Sangres. I think Salida is shielded here a little bit, so on the lighter side of things, maybe 1 to 3 inches. I think we get light amounts across Park County as well. I still think 3 to 7 for the Wet Mountain Valley. Had you in that yesterday, and I took the 3 to 7 down the slopes of the Wet Mountains a little bit farther than what I had yesterday. So Rye, Beulah, Fairview up on top of the Wets. I think you guys get 3 to 7, and then you drive down through Gardner and toward Fairacida and Walsenburg. I think we're in the 3 to 7 inch as well. Spanish Peaks, probably 10 to 18, something like that. Cuchara should do pretty good in this one. I think the amounts drop off toward Trinidad, only looking for about 2 to 4. South end of the San Luis Valley gets less than the north end. Out over the plains, I think 2 to 4 do it. There will be some spots where we're maybe closer to 1.5 inches or something like that. And then you get out toward Kansas, and I think we'll have some areas of enhancement. And I've got us in the 3 to 7 for Baca County and Kiowa County, let's say. And then I think there's a little area out here on the southern slopes of the Palmer Divide. I'll watch that. Might have to put that in a 3 to 7 as well. But, you know, that probably outliers most of the area getting 2 to 4 inches. It's because we get a south wind pushing into the southern slopes of the Palmer Divide. And so Denver, there might be some spots, especially up on the northeast parts of the metro area, where we get maybe closer to 1 to 3 instead of 2 to 4. So, you know, fluffy, airy stuff that's easy to clean, so it's not back-breaking stuff for sure. As we get the clearing Saturday night into Sunday morning, the temperatures come down in a big way. And if you remember, the last few days I've been talking about if the Arctic air starts to recede, that we might get some foothill areas in the 30s. Well, computers are finally figuring this out here and keeping the colder air up against the hills. And there's a reason they're doing that. There's a little wave coming at us from the northwest. So Sunday morning, I think we start clear. This thing has a little more oomph than it's looked like the last few days. There's about 4 computer models this morning that are bringing in some snow showers Sunday afternoon into the evening that might put down a couple of inches here or there. Hasn't looked like that the last few days. I haven't had a chance to take a big look at it, but I'll do so through the day today, do some updates about that, but maybe a little sneak attack as we move into late Sunday and Sunday evening.